Green light. Perfect. Perfect. All right. You ready? You ready for this?
I am ready.
All right. All right, guys. We're live. Welcome back to Shop Talk. Today we have my friend Marissa of Mars Art. If you don't know who she is, there's a link in the description. Oh, is there a delay?
There's a little bit.
That's annoying. Let me know if it's buffering. I'll take it. I'll put it. I'll use up my data. But anyway, there's a link in the description to her website, her Instagram, and her YouTube channel, where you can. I think the internet is.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Service is a little bit weird out here.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I hope it freaking works. That's so annoying if it doesn't. All right. Are people commenting?
Hello.
Oh, yeah, they're there. Okay, sweet. Okay, so this is my friend Marissa. If you want to check out her art, which you should, we have some of it right here. Oh, I should move this over. Look at this. Look at this.
It's one of 5 pieces. It's a 5-piece.
It's like a panel painting or whatever you call
What do you
those.
call those? Not triptychs, because there are 5 of them. Quintics? I don't know. Polyptychs? Just multiple paintings in one to make a giant piece.
They go together.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too big. It sits above a king-size bed, so I brought one piece.
Was it like a commission, or did you paint it for yourself, or?
You know what, honestly, I think it was something that I just wanted to do, and then it became a commission.
Oh.
Somehow, like.
While you were working on it?
Yeah. My mom actually bought it. She's like, I love this so much. I want you to do this full piece for me to put above her bed.
Oh, so you just painted one, and then she was like,
well, I had this like concept.
Too small for the...
I had this concept of like creating an aurora borealis, and she really liked that idea of having multiple images.
Uh-huh.
So we kind of worked together to like create this project.
All right. Is your mom an artist?
She's not, but she's like one of my biggest fans. Shout out to my mama.
That's almost a given. Okay, guys. So how I normally do this...
Am I Canadian? I am Canadian.
Is Marissa Canadian? I mean, she's in Canada at the very least.
Yeah, qualifying to be Canadian means I'm born in Canada. Am I genetically fully Canadian? No.
You are what?
I'm half Italian, half, if you go back enough, British or English or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am Canadian. I'm a real Canadian. So.
And that's literally why I said that. Because so many people have asked me, like, so what are you? And I would always used to say Canadian, Canadian, Canadian. But then I'm like, you have to be aware of what you're referring to. Because if you say you're Canadian, you've been here long enough that you are from the land, which I'm not. But I've been here for so many generations. Like, our family's been here since, like, probably, like, 8 generations.
Yeah,
so then, like,
Canadian.
when do you qualify?
You're Canadian.
Right?
But then
people are like, before then.
Everyone has
like,
ancestral background. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of dumb when people get upset about that kind of stuff, but that's just me.
On my mom's side, yes, I'm first generation here in Canada.
Okay.
So I have that, like, totally different perspective.
Oh.
From mom to dad.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Guys, just doing a mic check. Does this sound good? Does she sound good?
Do I sound good?
Are they interfering with each other? Sometimes they interfere,
yeah.
which is kind of annoying. Usually when we're side by side, it doesn't, but sometimes when we're like across from each other, it does, and I don't know why it does that, but...
This is, like, just far enough that it's hard for me to read unless I'm like,
Yeah, sound is good.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Looks good. Nice.
All right, so normally when I do these, I have my Patreon members ask the questions. So I knew that she was coming on here, so I clicked into Patreon, hey, ask some questions, check out her art, and whatever. And then normally here, we would ask the questions. Except for my freaking other phone is broken. So then I went and got this phone, but this phone doesn't stay on. Oh, wait, maybe it is now. Oh, it's working.
Surprise.
Oh, no, see, look what it did. It's not gonna work. So anyways, we're not gonna get to the Patreon questions this time. Thank you anyway for everyone who asked questions. This phone does not have my Patreon, and so we're just gonna take questions from you, and then I'll have my own questions for you, and we can show some of your art pieces that you brought. I asked her to bring some. just whatever you felt like, and these are 3 that you brought. My favorite painting of yours, actually, and you guys can probably find this on our Instagram. Do you remember I asked you if you would sell it before I even knew you?
Oh, which one is
When
it?
you did that show with that ginger girl, I forget what her name is. She used to work at the art store.
Dana? Oh, Dana.
Dana? Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, like Dessert. You used to work at Dessert, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that was a long time ago.
You did that
Yeah.
art show in that
Yeah,
corner
upstairs in
building
the
thing?
conference room. It was upstairs on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Ave.
Okay, so you had that one with the
Yeah.
whales in the clouds.
Yep. You know what? I wanted to bring that one, but it's so big.
That one's
It's like
cool.
4 feet tall. It's a little big.
I like that one. That one's my favorite. You
Yeah,
guys
phone
should
case?
check it
Oh,
out. Someone should buy it.
It's usually on my phone case, but I have this one on my phone case right now.
You told me that you weren't going to sell it. Are you?
Oh, that one is like, so that one I haven't actually seen in years because it was at my dad's work. And because of, the whole pandemic thing, his work shut down.
Oh,
So we weren't able to go see it. And I was like, I want it in my house. I miss it. I haven't seen it in years. So I ended up, we went in one day in the middle of COVID and snuck this painting out the door. We're like, we're stealing the painting. I mask on and everything. And then walk out with this ginormous painting the size of me, stuff it in the car and take it home. So now it's in my living room.
Do you hang your own paintings then?
I do.
I do sometimes, but not often.
Yeah, I do. Right now, I'm not anything big scale right now, but I do. I don't use the wires, which people are very shocked of. I just screw in the hooks in the back. There's the little.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The wires.
Sometimes I don't even
Not
do
my
that. Sometimes I
fan.
just put a nail in the
Yeah.
wall and then just hang. I mean, if it hangs. I mean, if I'm
It
selling
hangs.
it.
If someone's gonna if the house is moving, I don't want my paintings to fall on the ground. These ones kind of have a little bit of a lip on them, so they hold onto the nail or
Okay.
hook.
Okay, so Martha here, she told me what she asked in the Patreon. So I'm gonna just ask you what she asked. So Martha asked, what is your favorite medium and which of your paintings is your favorite that you've done?
The whale one is definitely top one. And medium wise, I usually use acrylic. These are actually all acrylic. They're very different styles, but they're all in acrylic. I've been painting for over 15 years professionally. It's a very loose term.
Yeah.
Because I've been selling for 15 years, but professionally probably more often in the last few years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, favorite paintings. I have so many. These ones I really like. These 3 specifically. Yeah.
I
this
love
one-
this one.
If you guys don't know, this one is hand painted pixels. I grew
Oh.
up in the 90s, so
Let's
I grew
see.
up with the original Super Mario and Pac-Man and what else? Lots of pixel stuff.
This one's good. Is this your own concept though? Like the Santa thing? Or is-
It was a developed concept. I saw something online and then I created this whole thing myself, yes.
That's
But
cool.
there was something to do with Super Mario and Christmas together and I was like, I'm gonna run with this theme. So I made this whole sleigh concept.
Okay, that's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I would hang that in here. I mean, I have a lot of art. That picture still needs a place. Do you like Napoleoni's work? He's
I mean, it's cool.
he's got I don't know how, but he found his niche and he's wildly successful.
And that's his theme.
Yeah, so that character's so people know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is Marcinivo.
It's cute.
He's got a bunch of
I'm sorry. I'm pausing because it reminds me of a specific character that I've seen somewhere, and I can't put my thumb on it. But it's cool.
It is cool. I mean, it's very childlike. I would put that in my kids' room, but I don't have any kids, so I'm gonna put it in here. Okay, so that would be a good picture for a Christmas card, says Karen.
It is on a Christmas card.
Do you sell them
Yes,
on your website?
kind of. I'm working on my website.
Yeah, me too. I say that all
I'm
the
working
time.
on it. So because I grew up in the 90s, my dad is a computer engineer, and I actually learned how to do my own website, HTML.
I don't know what that is.
Basically, coding and putting all the, brackets and stuff, and
Okay.
basically formatting my own website.
Okay.
And then I came to a point where I was like, okay, times are changing, things are going more online, and it needs to look a little bit more seamless. So I actually deleted my entire website, and then started using a template.
Okay.
And now it's sitting at the template stage, and I want to edit it, but I don't want to put that much effort into it. So I'm like,
So it's just there
Yeah,
as a placeholder?
it's there. Like it has my work on it. I had a shop. I pulled it down. I didn't like it. Now it has like I think a sale button that you can like check out a bunch of stuff on sale. But I haven't sold a single thing on my website,
Oh.
which is super annoying. But at the
Well,
same time,
we should change that.
I'm like, I know it doesn't look great, so I can see why it's not like the best place to shop. But like people buy stuff from me in person, or they contact me directly, and then I make stuff for them. So I do custom work.
And you do like art walk and other like.
Yeah, last year I did 14 shows.
Sweet.
And I was.
What'd you do? Which ones?
A lot. I did a few art walks, and then I did like smaller markets.
Did you do the
Christmas
Stradlin art walk?
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
It's all right. It's not too bad.
I hate that one. Hate it. I only did it once.
First year I did it, I don't even know if I made any money.
I didn't make any money either.
It's not like the best for like big sales, but you do make some sales. Like Art Walk on White Ave is the #1.
That is the best. That's the only one that I do now. Of those type of shows, that's the only one I do. I didn't do it last year. So those of you who watched my vlog where we toured, me and Jakota toured the art walk.
I was in it.
She was one of the people who I stopped and talked to in the show.
Pikachu, right? There was one painting that you really Pikachu, or it was like
my brother probably liked the Pikachu.
I don't remember if it was Pikachu or.
Remember?
I did like Super Mario. There was like a couple like 9x12 paintings that I had.
Okay. My brother asked you if that one other dude was Vin Diesel.
Yeah, and I was like, no, he's actually a black guy.
yeah, that's exactly what you said. Yeah, that was funny. Anyway, so you can go back and watch that video. She's somewhere in the middle of that one. I don't know, somewhere in there. Anyways, it was then that I asked her if she wanted to come on my little show that we do here, because I thought you guys would like her art. You do like, as you already said, you do like many different subject matters.
Yeah, I was trying to...
A few different styles.
Trying to find like... People always ask like, what's your theme? What's your like type of work that you paint? I'm like I'm so diverse.
Yeah.
Like, here's a sample. I do portraits, I do landscapes, I do pixel stuff, but I also do like so much more. I tried to pick like things from like different ends of the spectrum. I go like when I'm painting, I will paint like a super realistic thing, and right beside it I'll have like a chibi character, like something super cutesy.
A what?
Chibi is like kind of like a Japanese term for like the little cutesy, like big eyes, big face, like cutesy type of thing. I don't know. Cartoony. But yeah, I like my brain just works like that. I've never been able to just like stay on one subject or one theme. I'm always like all over the place.
I'm similar.
Yeah.
But not so much in my paintings. Like, see that big painting
but
right
it's like
there?
a challenge to do like different styles constantly.
Yeah, if you can do it, then do it. I kind of suck at painting. I don't think I suck at making nice pictures, but I don't know how to paint very well. And so when I do something that's not my niche, like portraits of people or whatever, then I'm like, I don't even know how to do this.
I mean, they look good. Like, you guys can't see it, but there's like a whole bunch of portraits behind here. But they're like, they have like an abstract feel to them. And I actually started exploring abstract, like throughout the years. I'll like dabble in abstract and then go back to like realistic stuff. It is actually really hard to do abstract and make it look good.
Because abstract doesn't look good. I'm just going to put this down just a little
bit. Some people think like, you just like throw paint on a canvas and it's done. It's like, yeah, but if you do that, like I took school for a long time, for art school. Like I took like 7.5 years of art school. There's a lot that goes into creating a piece that people will just look at and like instantly. Like there's aesthetics, there's like shapes and lines and things that you don't really think about, but the artist will think about. Not every artist, but
texture and stuff.
Yeah, texture, colors, shape.
Are you a proponent of art school? Do you think that people should go if they want to be an artist, or do you think it's not needed, or do you think you should go to learn basics and like technique?
It's a very like...
You went for 7 years, so...
7.5. I went for a 4-year program. I took it like part-time.
Okay.
And struggled because art history is hard to remember. I have bad memory, as I was saying earlier. Yeah, that's a difficult one. I had someone actually come up to me this year. His parents, I think, were artists, and the son was an artist, and they were like really excited about pushing him to like pursue his art career. And I was like, I don't think like getting an art degree is not necessary in this time and day and age. Like having a degree, like what does it really do? I don't know. You learn definitely, like you get to learn all these different ways of thinking. You get to learn like concepts, history, which is also, I guess, important, techniques. Like you get to be around a bunch of artists, which I think was the coolest part because I don't come from an artist family. So
Okay.
for me, like, to be around all weird art people was like, what is this? Why do you guys like think like me?
Did you always do art, or did you just decide to do art and you're like, oh, I should go to school for it, or what?
It was like something that I fought for since I was a kid. Like, I love drawing and doodling and like coloring and stuff. And people would ask me like, what's your favorite subject? I would say math, art, and gym. And they'd be like, no, but pick a real subject or like a real career. I'm like, no, I just want to draw stuff and like create stuff.
But you also like math.
Yeah,
So
because art is mathematical too. For me, art is mathematical.
Sure.
If you talk to Da Vinci, he'll say the same thing. He'll say it's a science.
That guy was also multifaceted.
He was not an artist first. He was like a scientist first or chemist or something.
Yeah, I don't know what he was, but
Yeah.
he did a lot. He like or I don't know if he invented. Would you say invented? Because a lot of it, what's the
I
word?
would think so.
He made prototypes of
Yeah.
things that
That never got made until like years or like decades or
like
hundreds
the
of years later.
first machine gun, and which I
Lots
think
of
that's
flying devices.
freaking that none of
Yeah.
them worked.
See, like, I wouldn't know this unless I went to art school. Like, you find all these names, and then, like, for me, I, like, dig deep into people's, like, histories of artists. Like, Michelangelo, like, people are like, oh, he painted the ceiling. Great. But if you, like, really look into his life and, like, look in...
I mean, that's a
Yeah.
pretty cool painting on the ceiling, like the
I
whole
have a
thing.
tapestry on my door because I went to Europe, 2018?
Yeah,
I went into the Sistine Chapel, and I looked up, I was like, this is amazing.
yeah. I would.
But I'm like a sardine trying to look up. I'm like, this is amazing.
Oh,
I
there's
wish
so
I
many
could do
people
that.
there, yeah.
So it was disgustingly packed.
I would love to
Oh.
go there. I've never gone anywhere outside of North America.
Oh, you have to. It's so fun.
The furthest I've been is Mexico, and only for about a couple hours.
Hours.
Like I literally went across the border. There's so many artists, like and craft people, like and taco stands and doctors' offices and dental
Doctor's
offices.
offices.
They're like all right there because
Surgery
there's so
clinics.
many people who go across the border to get their
Yeah.
whatever done, and then they come back. Anyway, I was there just to check out the carvings and stuff.
Yeah.
I bought like I don't know, maybe 3 or 4. So cheap. No one would.
So cheap. I bought like oil. These guys, like, a lot of them do like oil paintings on like tiles, which I'm sure many people that go to like Cancun have seen that. They take like home
Yeah, yeah.
tiles and they just like paint by hand. In like 5 minutes, boom, they have a painting done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but all those chemicals in your hands, like, you won't last very long with
That
that.
oil
but,
painting is.
but I've bought a few of them, and I think they're so incredible.
They
Like,
are.
I
they
could
are
never
cool.
do that.
You probably could.
I mean, if I tried, probably. But like, I don't use oil painting very. Like, I have used oil paint, but I prefer acrylic. I've learned to like make my own medium to layer my acrylic so it looks similar to oil, like this one. People always think this one's oil, but it's acrylic on wood.
Let's move this one.
Take it out.
Can they see it?
It's huge.
It is big. I mean, it's not super big, but it's pretty big.
It's bigger than life scale. Look at my hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does look like oil, doesn't it? So I never use any medium or whatever you called it because I don't even know what that is. And maybe if I went to art school, I would. I literally take paint and put it on a canvas. That's it. That's all I
I
do.
wish you guys can see the hair color. There's like,
There's so much
there's so many
detail.
colors in the hair. Like, it's not just brown. It's like a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you.
I haven't had someone bring a thing in one of these for a while now. I really should have like a 2-camera operation so that we could have like a gallery wall. You know?
Oh yeah,
And I
then you can
just,
like pan to the wall.
click it and it
Yeah,
just moves over.
I was trying to think of what paintings to bring. I'm like, how am I going to fit paintings in this tiny little background? I'm like, oh well, it's okay. We'll pick it up.
Someone here asked, I think it was Martha again. She asked, Sarah here says, I know you shouldn't touch paintings, but I love the textures.
When I was in Europe, so when I travel, I look for art too. Like, I like try and find a gallery or something.
Oh, me too. I mean, I haven't gone
Always.
to Rome or anything, but
Yeah, no, I was trying to like pull back on the amount of art things I was doing because I was with my family, and I'm like, I don't want to like make them sick of art because like it's like one of the original places where art started type of thing. Like, there's so
Yeah.
many people that came from there.
Uh-huh.
That changed the way of art. And like, my mom went up to one of I don't remember which painting it was. I think it might have been like a Picasso or something. She like went up and like tried to touch it.
It wasn't behind glass.
No, like some of them are just like exposed to the air, but there's lines in the ground you're not supposed to cross, or there's like a string you can't cross. And she like tried to go up to touch it. I'm like, Mom, don't touch it, don't touch it. Like it's huge. That thing falls off the wall. Like
I don't know if this is popular or an unpopular opinion, but I don't like Picasso. I would own one, but I would not like it. I don't know. I don't like conceptual art as much as... That's a lie. I do like it all the time.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not an art snob, so to speak, but
Yeah.
I definitely... There's art that I definitely don't like, and Picasso's like later stuff.
Yeah, and
hate it.
that's something like through art school you learn to understand like more about the art rather than just like the visual of it. Because there's like so many fields of people that see art. There's artists, there's non-artists, there's people who are artists who just don't understand the history of art. There's like people who understand the history but can't paint. Like there's so many like different people. Yeah. So it's fair to have an opinion about art that you don't like or like it's visual. It's a visual thing.
Yeah,
if you don't like the way it looks, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have a picture of me in front of the Demoiselle d'Avignon, which is the ladies of the night, which is the one, there's like all these ladies, they're like naked, have their like arms on their head, and it's like super pixelated. I have it on my
Let's see it.
Facebook.
It's pixelated? Like it's painted to be...
Sorry, it's not pixelated. It's like his like blocky style.
Okay.
Can I find it? And
well, while you're looking for that, Martha asked, how did we meet? So I don't remember how we met initially. Do you?
I do, yeah. I was at Art Walk and I was like still doing like the tables on the side of the road. And I just like went exploring. I was like, I like Art Walk. I want to go check out other artists. So I started like exploring. And then I came across the tent area and I saw this tent with this guy in it. And I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool. And I remember I have a business card. Oh my God, I should have brought it. It was like a cheeky business card. And I was like, hey, this is you? And he's like, yeah. And then I was like, it's cool. It's in a tent. Like, how do you get into a tent? Like, I'm on the street. Like,
yeah, it's way better in a tent. Way better. So you can have way more stuff. It's way easier to expand it. And I always cheated. I always had two tents because I had the same space, but I went long. You know what I mean? Because no one was going to be behind me. And so then I could fit double the amount of work. And I even thought about bringing a carpet and a couch. Oh, yeah, okay. Show
can you guys, I don't know if you can see phones on here.
Yeah.
This is me pretending to be one of the ladies of the night. I should post this to my Instagram. It's funny.
Yeah, you should.
It's so old. This is from 2015.
Okay.
I went to New York.
So that's how we met? That was the first time?
That's like my first like memory was I came into your tent and I was like, hey.
You didn't already know me though?
I don't think so. If I've seen you around before then, like I don't remember.
Because I remember, what was that girl's name again? The ginger girl?
Dana.
Dana, okay.
She dyed her hair red. She's not actually ginger.
What? Why would you do that? Okay. Anyway. That's
fiery.
Rude.
She likes fiery hair.
When she worked at the art store, she told me about her show that she was having with her friend. Was it just the two of you?
Yeah. We did. It's not even, like, what do you call it? It's not a solo show. It's like us two had a whole show to ourselves.
Yeah, it was like a big-ass room.
Yeah.
You had, like...
That was my first, like, show outside of school.
Okay.
That we, like, put on all ourselves. And we put it on, I think we put it on a long weekend, so it was, like, super dead.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I know. It's like, yeah, next time I plan a show, I have to think better.
Man,
plan better.
When you're an unknown artist or, like, relatively unknown or whatever, if you're me or less or even more, like, it's like, I just know my experience.
Yeah.
When you have an art show, because, like, I know when I did my first one, like, for pop-up art show, and there would be, like, I'd be so stoked if 10 people came all day.
Just, like, one person you don't know, you're like, sweet.
Yeah. and then as I got, like, say, a little bit more gallery representation, then I would have, like, 25 people come. And I'd be, like, so stoked for, like, the whole day. That sucks.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't sell anything.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay. Maybe one more person will come. And maybe I'll sell something. And then if I didn't, I was still happy. Just because they still came. And
Yeah.
they just wanted to look.
I had a solo show in, oh my gosh, 2018, I think. I was in Vancouver, moved back, worked at a pop-up coffee shop that my brother owned. And then
Okay.
I was like, hey, this is a big space. I know lots of people want to see my work. So I just like held a show in there, like a pop-up show. And I don't even know how, but some people found out there was a show in there. And they're like, we don't know you, but we saw the something. And then they texted me. And I was like, I don't even know how you got my number. Like, and we're actually like still pretty good friends until today. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
They're like, we wanted to check out art. I was like, sweet.
Anyway, that's the first time I think I remember seeing you.
I wonder if that was before. Oh, that's,
I don't know.
yeah, timeline.
Because I didn't know you. And then
That's somewhere around the same time.
and then yeah.
Like year, maybe.
You did another Yoshi painting? Or no, maybe she did.
She did one, yeah. I think she did Yoshi before I did Yoshi. Hers was more like 3D Yoshi.
Yeah.
And mine was like straight up like 8-bit.
Okay. You haven't done like a... Man, I'm trying to remember. I think it was even red. A red Yoshi. In any case, that's my first remember.
Might have been.
I asked her if I could put it on my Instagram. And she said, if you credit me. And I was like, obviously, I'm not going to pretend I painted this. Wouldn't you make
I
sense?
made this. It's not even in my style, but I made this. That's a funny thing people ask when they come into my booth. They're like, oh, are you like a bunch of artists? Like, who makes this? I'm like, I make everything in this tent. And it shocks people all the time because it's so diverse.
So, yeah.
I have like drawings and like everything. I make ceramics. Like, I'm very like diverse. I've done woodshop stuff too. I've done metal work. I'm not the best, but like I've done spot welding.
Oh, that's cool.
And it fell apart.
That was actually the question that... Did it really? It's probably just there was...
It wasn't done very well. What's the question?
That was the question. Do you do other things other than
photography? So I guess from art school, yes, I've been able to explore that. I did work like woodworking. I did mold making. Like I made a bunch of molds. I did ceramics, pottery. I think for photography, metalwork. Like what else have I done? Paintings, drawings.
What did you make
installation art? Like
what did you make out of metal? Or what did you try to make? I guess.
I tried to make something. Kate, you know, there's like these toys that like balance on one point.
Yeah.
I tried to make something like that, but I tried to make it look like a feather or a wing or something, but it ended up looking like steam kind of like flowing out.
Oh, that's cool.
And it didn't balance, so I ended up shoving it into the wall, into a hole, and it like hung off the wall. Like it looked cool, but I don't think my teacher really liked it.
That's the thing that I don't like about art school. It seems, based off of some of my friends who've gone, where they say that their grades,
Oh yeah.
like the way they were graded, it's just like, but like that's dumb because this is what I meant to make. So why did I not?
I think it's good to push you and challenge you, but yes, I would never go off of everything a teacher says.
I think it's
because like you're your own artist.
It's yes,
and
it's
they
a
get
shame too,
sometimes
like,
they get confused and they think like you have to be like them, but like
that's
not,
what I hate about it.
I'm not your apprentice. I'm your student to learn like techniques and like the way the world works in art.
That's a good way to put it. I'm not your apprentice. I'm just a student.
Yeah.
Because that is, they are different.
It's true. Like, funny story. I actually failed an art class, probably more than one. But like, my last year in school, I had what's called an open studies class, and I've actually posted this on my YouTube. I think I had an open studies class, which is basically like make whatever you want to make, just have a concept about it, and then you're good. Like, there's no way to do wrong. And they failed me because I created, I think it was like 12 or 15 figure paintings, like all different bodies, different colors, different styles in a week or 2 weeks. Presented it, and the teacher said there's too many styles. It's not cohesive. You fail.
But it's all the same subject. So
yeah, I know, and I fought that, and I was like, think of like the capacity of work that could be created. Like out of each picture, I could do a whole series of blue figures. I can do a whole series of like all these, like I used oil stick, like a really thick oil stick on one. And I'm like, I don't, like that comment didn't really get to me. It was the fact that I failed that course was frustrating.
You failed it by following the directions.
Yeah. Make your own stuff and bring a concept.
That's so lame.
But I fought it. I fought so hard because it was my last course and it prevented me from graduating. After 7.5 years, I fought it and I fought it and I fought it. Finally, I went to the dean and everything, and then finally they're like, yeah, whatever, you graduate. It's like, yes.
That reminds me, Kate, so this is not art school, this is just regular school. before I dropped out of high school. One of
When did you drop out of high school?
Why?
When? Or I guess why, when, how, what?
I dropped
where?
out because I felt like it, and then I dropped out again. So this is okay. So grade 9, going into grade 10, I dropped out. Then when I should have been in grade 11, I did grade 10 and 11 through correspondence at an outreach center. And
Is
then
like here locally or
yeah,
like
in Spruce Grove.
in Spruce? Okay.
And then from there, I went to work, which was just at a pizza joint, and I just stopped going to school. And then Ashley did my school for me, and then I graduated. I just had to write the diploma.
Did she wrote your homework for you?
Yeah, everything.
I need an Ashley in my life. I hated school.
Yeah,
I really
me too.
did.
But anyway, in one of my grade 10 classes, one of the assignments was to do creative writing based off of a picture. And it's
Yeah.
a silhouette of a boy jumping over a fence. And so the foreground is black.
That was a picture they gave you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so I was supposed to write something. And and it was up to interpretation.
Yeah.
So it could be anything. It doesn't even have.
I actually like those.
So I didn't mind it at all. I wrote it as a dying person going back to his, or were they dying? I might be getting two mixed up into one. Anyway, it was supposed to be a man going back in his memories to a memory. And the reason why I said it was going back, because, okay, let me tell you how it, I wrote like, Alex, whatever his name was, let's just call him Alex, blah, 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 lived his whole life, and now he's going back to this great memory of whatever, okay? Because there was like a tree with a swing on it, I think, and like a pond. So I made it something to do with that, handed it in, get it a 0 out of 10 or whatever, and I was like, what? Her name was Miss Gossett. I freaking hated her.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, not at all. If she's still a teacher, she is awful.
Some teachers like that.
I hate her. I don't hate her. That's too strong. I did not like her at all. I drew a picture of her, like a caricature of her, and put it on the bulletin board, and it was there for months. And then when she saw it, she was pissed.
Was it a bad picture?
It was a caricature. It was clearly her.
Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't stand her. Anyway, when I get it back. So I don't know how it works in regular school, but a fail doesn't exist. You just have to do it over again in correspondence or whatever, because like it's designed for you to graduate.
Yeah.
Right. So I go back in there and I'm like, so how come I didn't get nothing on here? And she's like, well, what I would have written is that maybe it's someone coming out of darkness and into the light, because the light is in the background.
Oh, that's so...
And I was like, and she was in one classroom, so there's like a probation classroom, because a lot of like delinquents and stuff go to outreach, right? Not everyone.
Fun clubs.
Right. And so she was in that classroom at that time. So I'm in there, and I was like, all these kids, there's like, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 kids in there or something like that, from grade 10 to grade 12. And then those weird, like where you retake stuff if you...
Grade 13, I did it.
That's what it's called?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I just took an extra year in high school.
Why?
Because I went to a self-directed school, and they're like, yeah, you can graduate in like 2 years. I'm like, sweet. And then I just had way too much fun and had to finish my grade 12 year.
I didn't even know
the
that's
next
how
year.
that worked.
Yeah.
Anyway, she told me what I should have written, and I was like, she's like, yeah, look, he's jumping over the fence to the light. But if you look at the picture, you can actually see that he's jumping towards the camera, not away from it. And she didn't care. She's like, yeah, but you know, she's like, most people would agree that it. I'm like, but he's not. Like, this is a real photograph of a little boy who's jumping over a fence towards whoever took the photo. It's very clear. It is in silhouette, but you can just tell. I
think the fact that she's like critiquing your interpretation makes no sense.
It was
And that's
so
like the same
dumb.
feeling I had with my work too.
Okay.
Like it wasn't even just like the one project. Like there was multiple things throughout the term that they were like not happy. It was a 2-teacher class. One teacher was like, whatever she says goes.
Oh,
And then the
that's so
girl was
annoying.
like, I don't like your work. You're never going to make it in this art. I'm like, man, there's a lot of ways to make a living in art.
Clearly, Picasso.
And you're clearly, look at history. You could do whatever you want.
It was so annoying. Anyways, I made such a big deal about it that she just gave me a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
But like,
Fight for your rights.
I literally asked my classmates, just other people who went to the school. I'm like, which way is he? Like, I'm holding it. I'm like, which way is he jumping over the fence?
Every person.
I'm like, he's jumping towards us, right? Not away. So that's what it was. The picture was of a boy jumping into darkness. So it was actually an old man reflecting on his life, and it wasn't a good memory. Mm-hmm. He was remembering bad shit that happened to him. That's what I wrote about, and then I made it as in like that's the darkness. Then he jumped.
Yeah.
He eventually jumped over.
The moon.
And then there's like a pond and shit. That's where his happy memories started. But he's remembering the bad memories. That's what I wrote about. And she didn't get it. It was so creative. It was good.
Yeah.
I
loved creative writing throughout high school and I guess school in general. But I was like terrible at following through on anything. So I never really finished my cool stories.
Oh, well. That happened.
It was too slow.
Did you ever
too much editing and
Did you ever do
paragraphing?
Like cheater, I don't even know what you'd call it. You know, like when you just take a lazy way out in a story just because you need to hand it in. I've always, like in school, like in like say grade 4 or whatever, I would just, because I never did homework in my whole life.
Oh, me neither.
I would
my
never
mom
do.
knows this.
So
we fight all the time.
I would just write the next day when we had to hand it in, whatever I was at. Conveniently, he just woke up from a dream, or she just woke up from a dream, and that was the end.
I think mine were like, I would always ask for extension, and like I would always wait till like the last day to write the project or do whatever the homework was. I would stay up all night. I'm like an insomniac. I would stay up all night finishing the thing and be like done 5 minutes before I have to hand it in or after, like, or sometimes I'd be like, I need another week because I was too busy procrastinating.
I remember in grade 9, I literally wrote a story while she was collecting
Yeah, I've done that too.
the assignments. I wrote a pretty good story. It was just obviously a short story. It was like...
Can't
probably,
rush creativity. It's the hard part.
I think you can.
No, I mean, you can try. Like, last minute you can do it, but like, you can't.
You have to have the
Force
idea
it.
maybe already. Yeah, you can't
You
force
can't
it.
force it. Can't be like, okay, you have a week to write this. I'm like, I don't have the problem of having not enough ideas. I have too many ideas and trying to collect it all into one. That's more my issue.
But what if the assignment has prompts? Is it easier then? Where they're like,
You can still go off in so many directions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I like, my brain works like that, obviously. That's the way I paint.
Yeah.
And like, I've, talking about more about mental health these days, and people talk about how, like, I have a cousin who has DID, which is like multiple personalities, or like, there's like multiple people in their head or in their body.
Who has this?
My cousin, one of my cousins.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like, if you think that there's like one narrative in your brain, maybe for some people there is, but not everyone there is. So it, like, if you think about, I don't know, spirituality or whatever, people have past lives and that kind of plays into their current life, or people have like different like separations in their brain. Like they think differently. You've lived how many years in your life? You've thought in so many different types of years. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if you want to put it more simple like that.
So
like there's so many different ways.
Did her brain somehow craft another personality in her head?
Yeah, it comes from like a trauma response, and where like things happen in your life and your brain will purposely give you like amnesia to forget things.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you've heard of that, where your brain like separates and like tries to protect itself and like.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like that type of thing going on, and then.
Like Jason Bourne.
Sure.
Anyway.
But yeah. Anyways, that's a big tangent to go off. But I mean, it's like.
Okay, no, but I need to know. Is she like fine?
I mean.
Like, does she live normal life?
No, really.
Is she like institutionalized?
No.
She's not institutionalized, but she's not exactly normal. You don't have to
It's
say
a complicated conversation
I mean,
now.
yeah, I don't want her to watch this if she does and goes like, what the hell?
No, so they go by they. That's
Okay.
another thing. They go by they, and they have a TikTok, and they're like, that's basically the whole TikTok conversation is about like that way of living in DID and the lifestyle.
DID.
What is it? Oh, you gotta look it up. Dissociative identity disorder. It's basically like multiple personality disorder. But it's like the new term for it or whatever.
Oh, it's new. Okay.
They've like renamed it for. They're renaming everything right now, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like for my brain, like different conversation, but like for my brain, like I think to like when I try to limit, like when I was in school and tried to do only one theme or only one like style of painting or drawing, my brain would like break and I would have to fly off another tangent direction. So that's why I paint like multiple things at once to keep my sanity like where it is.
So do you mean like you paint different styles at once, or you literally paint different pictures at once? Like
I have like right now on my wall, I have 2 portrait paintings, which these are commissions. 2 portrait paintings. I have like a Yu-Gi-Oh painting. I have like a baby dragon I'm painting, and then I was painting a guitar, and then there's another
so you
one.
work on
I'm painting
several
cars also. Like I'm painting like
on cars or
like a
painting
of a car.
Oh yeah, you did like a Porsche.
It's a
No wait, what did you do? A Ford GT or something?
okay, like hold on, let me get the number. It's gonna kill me if I can't remember it. Anyways, Nissan
350.
180S.
Oh, 180. Yeah,
It's a 180S.
It's like a SX. Yeah, and there's also 240 and a.
It looks very similar to a 240. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Japanese instead.
Yeah. It's from
So
Japan.
it's right-hand drive, and then there's also a European one that's
Okay.
something else.
180 SX. Yeah. Type X type of. Yeah.
Yeah, lots of people have 240s around here.
Yeah. My cousin had a 240. My other cousins. Got a few
Very
cousins.
popular drift car.
Yeah.
Nice and light, manual, gearbox.
I love manual cars.
Karen says, my 6th grade teacher put me in advanced art in high school. So she thought I had already taken some art classes.
Advanced
Must
art. That's
be.
cool.
In 6th grade, you had to go to the high school? That's kind of cool. There's people are just like, who
is this little shrimp coming in here? Yeah, so I started art training classes in junior high. I don't even remember what year, like my memory that it was either grade 8 or grade 9 I started art class. And then I started doing it in high school. It was like art 10, art 20, art 30, and there was art 31. But I got kicked out in art 30.
Why?
Not because I couldn't do art or anything. It was because I was skipping class. I was a terrible skipper. I was great at skipping. I did it all the time.
Got an A in skipping.
Yeah.
Got an A in not going to school.
My teacher, she was like so upset because like I would never finish my projects. I would start a project and have like a great concept, and she's like, "Hey, when are you gonna be done?" I'm like, "I don't know." And I would like get halfway through, and she would just like give me a passing mark anyway, so I could just stop it and go to the next one because like time had passed so far.
I also had a lot of grace marks.
Yeah.
But
she's like, "I see the potential, but like you're just not doing your work." I'm like, "I know. I don't do any work."
Yeah, I only did art, so I would always get the art award or whatever during award ceremonies.
Yeah, I've gotten a few of those.
And I would always get physical education award.
You run fast.
And
Good job.
sometimes I got the what do you call it? Notable achievements for doing things. But like I think because I was so terrible at things, so anything that I did
participation ribbons
was like notable. We didn't do participation at the time, ribbons. Actually, in track and field,
you go.
Yeah, I threw away all my ribbons that weren't first place. I was like, these are the ones that where I was the winner. Second place, I would give them to people. I'd be like, this is bullshit. I'm not proud of this.
I have to be number 1 or not at all.
I remember in grade 3, there was this girl, had a mad crush on her. Her name was Kyla Clark.
Shout out to Kyla.
Yeah, Kyla was a faster runner than me, and it just bugged me. And
is she a faster runner? Or you just like running behind her?
Nah, I mean I was in grade 3, but
I like her hair flowing in the wind.
she did. We did running long jump, And I
I was good at that.
I beat her by 1 centimeter, and I was so freaking stoked that I got first place. And she's like, "Yeah, by 1 centimeter." I'm like,
Still
"Winning's
first
winning."
place. Yeah. Even like, yeah, athletic stuff. I like liked being athletic, but I was also like, I would never pursue, like I never really practiced or like did stuff at home. Like I was thinking about it yesterday. I used to be a drummer too. I was in music.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you play any other instruments?
I've played a few in my life. I played like the entire percussion in high school. Like everything from the bells, like the big giant chimes,
The
like
glockenspiel?
timpanis. Probably. There was a lot. We had like 3 or 4.
What about that thing that's like a?
Yeah. I played the triangle. Ding 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 ding. There was like 3 or 4 of us that were in percussion, and like half the time like nobody would show up because like they have class or they're sick or they just didn't want to go. So like there's a lot of percussion instruments. So I would sometimes be one of the people taking over all of the instruments. I'd like run to the timpanis, like make a noise, and like run to the chimes, like make a noise. Yeah. And I did the drum set too. I loved playing the drums. And this is like something that's been a theme through my whole life, is like having these like big passions for something, but I don't practice or do it at home, like homework, or like I won't practice off like
So
outside
you'll
the class.
do it while you're doing it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I have like a natural like way of like catching on to stuff. Like
Okay.
I remember being in my first like drum class. He's like, "Okay, who's your inspirational drummer or whatever?" I'm like, Billy Talent. I'm like, "That drummer and Travis Barker." And he's like, "Okay, you need to practice." I'm like, "No, I'll just do it." Like I don't. Even when I paint, I don't like sketching before. I do it now because it's like more of a habit.
Yeah,
Like,
you should
okay.
send a tweet or something if you have Twitter to Travis Barker and of you drumming. He'll be mad impressed.
I don't even know. I'm sure this recording. It was like before like phones were a big thing. Back in the flip phone days.
Yeah.
You didn't really record anything.
No.
I was like a
Now everyone
teenager.
records everything because of social media.
Yeah. the
But
world.
drumming is cool. My little brother loves drumming, and he has
Yeah, I
a
love
natural
it.
knack for it. He's not super amazing, but to me,
Double foot pedal.
yes, he has.
Yeah.
Is just like.
I have my own set at home too. Yeah.
You play it?
I used to,
But
but
you
I
don't.
don't have it anymore. I sold it to one of my brother's friends, I think, and then he sold it to someone else. If I had like a soundproof room, I probably would practice a lot more. Because I remember being when I was in where was I? University, the Grand McEwen, like the Orange Building on the west side.
Uh-huh.
They had like music, theater, and like fine arts, and I was in that building. And they had like little booths where you can like practice your instruments, and they were
Yeah.
soundproof.
Yeah.
It's like I want one of those, but they're like
Well, just make one.
price range is like ridiculous.
You could make one. Like, do
I
you
don't
rent
know.
or do you own your place? Because if you,
Neither.
even if you,
I live with my parents.
oh,
I'm
well,
Italian. I'm allowed to.
is that an Italian?
By
thing?
right, yeah. Italians basically live with their parents until they're married. So
Oh, okay. Well,
if I stay single for life, then I don't have to.
then
leave.
you never have to pay any bills. You should just make a soundproof room. You can do
I
it.
don't even know what I would use. Like, what do you use to make it
I
soundproof?
don't know, just get some foam, egg cartons,
A lot of eggs.
another drywall, baffles. Like you can do so many things. I used to do construction before doing art full time. Now I only do art full time because my stupid head thing. But I would still be doing some construction, and I do still. But anyways, this for people who did like basement suites that they could rent out,
soundproof the floor.
they would get these. I can't remember what they call it. Res bar, I think. Residual bar, yeah. So resi bar, and I hated doing it, but you could do that in your house, but on the wall instead of wherever.
Is it like
you did.
one piece? Like, what does it look like?
It's like a it's like a long piece of metal, but its profile is like this.
So it captures the sound.
Yeah, and then so that gets screwed into your joist, and then the drywall gets screwed into the metal that floats. So it doesn't travel through as easily because it has to move like this.
Interesting.
So it breaks up the straight line that the sound travels in, right? The way it bounces or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you put in insulation. You could easily do it. I think it's cool. We were gonna have a drum set in here, but
I could have played it.
there's no.
Could have played
there's
on
no-
live.
Yeah, my brother has a drum set.
When's the last time I played the drums though?
That's actually his first painting. The Travis Barker.
Oh,
and
I see.
Kurt
I
Cobain.
like glanced over that. That's sick.
Yeah, he did that on his wall, like a big mural.
Nice.
Anyways, let's see if.
That's Eminem too.
Yeah,
I
Eminem,
love Eminem.
Billy Joel, and
Mac Miller?
Mac Miller, yeah.
Who's the guy in the... Oh, Billy Joel's on the right. Who am I missing? The guy with the sunglasses.
Kurt Cobain?
Yes.
You know Kurt Cobain, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
just couldn't get the name.
Mediterranean free labor daughters. That's what Wendy says.
Mediterranean free labor.
Amanda says...
Italians never work for free.
No?
Italians are like, okay, what are you going to feed me? What are you going to pay me? Mediterranean's like European.
I have no idea.
Full Cree, right? Or you...
Well, my dad is full Cree and my mom is half. So whatever that is, 75%.
Rather have
My
some
blood
mystery.
quantum says 50 plus 1%.
You actually have to do a test, blood test.
The government does it for you
Wow.
because of racism. Yeah, so it's basically you get like you have.
Because of racism.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just settled in.
So it's 50%. It says something like Josh is Treaty 6, something about whatever it says in the treaty, and is of 50, at least 50% plus 1,
Plus
something
one.
like that. Just the way it's worded is so dumb.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah. So anyway, what was I saying?
Sorry, I have no idea. I got really off tangent on that. We were talking about the paintings. Oh.
Jeez, I don't remember. Oh, stereotypes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, Amanda says here, I was not allowed to pick art at high school. Parents only wanted me to do academic subjects, so I refused to sit in my math exam when I was 17 and really got into trouble.
Yeah.
She said maths, so she must be European or
Mathematician.
something.
Mathematics.
The head of the school called my parents Jesus. The head of the school called my parents in, and I got to do art 5 years worth in 8 weeks, and got an A plus, and got accepted. into art
5 years
school.
worth in
Parents-
8 weeks.
And then
That's wild.
her parents wouldn't let her go. That's such a bummer. I was always encouraged to do art. I was never like my parents. Well, I didn't really have a structured parental life.
Yeah.
Life.
Sure.
Whatever you call it. But what I did have, it was like, you should do all the art that you want. And
Nice.
Then
That'll be a parent. That'll be.
when I would do, like I went to daycare. Oh, you stupid thing.
Last week.
I went to daycare when I was, like, for after school care. When I was in grade 2, kindergarten to grade 2, and grade 3 as well. And,
It's crazy to see like how far away that was, like timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are now.
Every time I go
old.
to, Winterburn School?
No. I know where Winterburn is, like the road.
Yeah, okay, well, that school there, it used to be so small, but it was, like, somewhat fancy. Not fancy, but, like, it had, like, cool cafeteria and stuff. It was pretty good for, like, a K to 9
Yeah.
school. Compared to the other school that I went to. I went to, like, a learning... Like, I took the short bus when I was a kid because I had speech.
The short bus.
Yeah, dude, it, like, clicked years later. Like, when I was, like, 17, I was like...
I got a cool bus ride to school.
The short bus.
I took the long bus.
I mostly took the long bus. I walked to school, and then I took the short bus home.
If I walked to school, it would take me like 3 days to get to school.
Yeah.
Like in high school. It took me like 2.5 hours to take a bus to school in high school. And then I never went.
2.5 hours?
Yeah. Because there was no like...
Where did you live?
I lived like northeast, and my school was like west side. And the trains and the bus system back then was like terrible.
Why didn't you just go to a school that was close to you?
Well, they weren't, none of them were really close. Like, where I lived was like, it used to be a marsh. That north area used to be a marsh area, and then they started doing developments like, I don't know, 70s, 80s. Like, the house was built in the 80s.
Okay.
And then they started doing developments around there. And now there's like other schools, but there's no high schools up north.
Really?
I don't think. Maybe the closest is like Emmy Lazert.
Dude, I don't even know.
If you're not sure, we're talking about Edmonton, by the way.
That's crazy that you...
2.5 hours.
2.5
I was like the first one in my friend group to drive because I was like, I'm sick of waiting in minus 40 and then taking a bus for 2.5 hours. Like, I had to get into like 3 different buses.
I would never I would never.
Yeah, that's why you just didn't go.
When I could drive, that's when I stopped going to school. No,
I would go and I would like visit other schools. I would like go and check in because it was like self-directed. It was kind of like a university. You go and like see your TA or your whatever. You check in at the beginning of the day, lunch, and then you check out for the half a day at the end of the day. I would go in, I would check in, and I'd be like, okay, bye. Take my friends and be like, go to another school and like visit people, or like go eat, or like go whatever, be degenerate, and then come back and check in, and then like leave again.
all right. That's your parents were cool with that?
Nope.
Or they didn't know, or they did know and
They
you
didn't
didn't
really
care.
know.
Oh, they didn't know. So the school wasn't like, wow, this.
It wasn't like regular classes like 8 a.m. Blah, 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 all the way down throughout the day. It was like university where you have like a session or like I can't even remember the name, a seminar.
Seminar.
Like university calls it like a seminar, but like our high school had different names for it.
Seminar.
But you'd have like blocks, like 2-3 hour blocks of just like work time. So you like, can do your homework during the day.
Like any of your work.
Yeah.
From it? Okay.
But I would take the time and like go explore the city and hang out with people.
Okay.
Be degenerate.
That's good. When you say seminar, do you remember this is like so not related to anything? And I don't know where this commercial all was, but I would always hear it on the radio. Do you remember the Remain Stop Smoking seminar commercials?
Remain stop smoking.
Remain Stop Smoking seminar is the #1 stop smoking
No.
method. For whatever reason, that just, when you said seminar, it reminded me of that. Maybe art was thought good because it is a good way to bring money into
Oh.
reservations. There is a lot of grants for art,
I was like, what? But yeah.
like
I got it. Yeah.
reservations.
I'm obviously not from that realm. That like.
I never grew up on the res, so I actually have no idea. I grew up, so basically what happened, my dad, great guy, left my mom with me and my little brother and my older brother from a previous
How many siblings do you have?
5 brothers and my sister who
Damn.
passed away. Yeah. So it was, so when I was 2 or something like that, this girl, the 16-year-old girl needed a job. And so my mom had a babysitter, so and it was her. And then my dad left my mom. And then my mom left us at the babysitters. And then my
Never came
babysitter became my sister. Yeah, basically.
What?
And then my sister's mom,
Crazy.
she didn't adopt us because of, it would have messed with the treaty things, that our treaty status.
Was she part of the treaty too? The babysitter?
No,
Oh, she's outside.
unrelated. Just a girl who needed a job.
And then she ended up with
And then
6 kids. 6, 7.
So yeah,
5
so then
brothers.
so
7.
she became my sister.
Oh, okay, so she's the sister.
And then her mom, like, 'cause she was only 16, she can't take care
Wow.
of 2 kids. It's like, I mean, she could have, I guess, but her mom became my mom, in a sense. Like, she never adopted us, and we weren't like foster or anything. It just the way that it worked back then. Maybe it's still that way in special circumstances too, but like social services, like they made sure like things were good or whatever, and made sure you could afford it. So I got 3 of my brothers and my sister that way, and then I have 2 biological brothers, and possibly more as well from my dad's side. I've heard lots of theories.
You don't ask, you don't know. Well, not you asking, like if your dad doesn't ask.
I don't even know him.
Oh.
I don't even know that
Does
guy.
he not live here?
Apparently he lives in Edmonton, and apparently he's an amazing artist.
So look up the artist and be like, hey, we like kind of have the same style. That's weird. But you know his name?
Yeah, guess what his name is?
Is it the same as yours?
It's Little Josh. No, so here's the crazy thing. So when I was,
Wow.
okay, you know Enoch right here? I always get gas at Enoch because it's cheaper. Actually, now it's not cheaper because of the provincial no tax, whatever.
I just don't look at the gas prices. I'm like, I need gas. I fill it up and I just go like this. I won't know if I don't look.
Yeah, so anyways, I used to go there all the time to get gas. And the River Cree casino is in Enoch. Anyways, I was at the gas station. Some random lady asked me if I could drive her to the casino. And I was like, sure.
All right.
I'm like, I guess so. So as she gets into my truck, she's like looking at me all like
Weird.
right, and she's like, "What's your name?" And
Wait, is this the story? I think you told me this at Art Walk, Kicking Scene.
did I?
Maybe. We'll
Okay.
see. Continue.
Anyway, she's like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Josh." And she's like, "What's your dad's name?" And I was like, "His real name is George. Like his birth name is George." And so I was like, "George." And she's like, "No, we call him Little Josh." And I was like,
Who the heck are you?
I'm like, "Oh, do you know him?" And she's like, "Yeah, I used to babysit him."
Oh,
I was like,
Different
"What?" So I must look like him or something for her to like look at me all like.
yeah, maybe. I mean, if he's your biological dad.
Mm-hmm.
There was this. I don't know if you want to tell the story, but there was a story that either you or the guy you were with at our walk.
Rob.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the story was. It was something like that. You looked like your dad, and the girl like knew your dad intimately.
I don't remember this story.
Oh, I don't have enough details about it.
I don't remember this. There was a girl if you watched my vlog, who thought that.
That's the one it was. Sorry, maybe it wasn't there. It was on the video. Yeah, it was on the vlog.
She's like, "I think we slept together."
And you're like, what?
Yeah, I would have been a little kid.
Mm-hmm. You're like, lady, that wouldn't have been legal. Yeah, that's where it was. I was like, I remember seeing it somewhere or hearing that.
Hilarious. No, this lady,
Yeah.
she didn't say anything like that. And so she like.
Not like, hey, I recognize you from like the store. It's like, no, we slept together. No, we didn't.
Dude, my brother was just, he still laughs about that.
That's so funny.
We like, were trying to tell my grandfather about it when he was visiting. And and my brother just couldn't stop laughing while we were telling the story. And then we watched it, and he ruined it with his hysterical laughing. He couldn't hear shit. My grandpa's like, what did she say? We would rewind it.
Subtitles.
Is someone here? Hold on. Be right back.
Hold up. Oh, bye, Jeff. Who's Jeff? Bye, Jeff. Welcome in.
Hey, did you tell your people that you're doing this?
I did.
Are they here?
I don't know. I can't see it.
Jeff has to go. How long have we been on here for? An hour?
2 minutes.
Do you want to keep going? Should we see if there's some more
Should we,
questions?
yeah. I guess we should do some questions.
Yeah, if you guys have questions for her, because I didn't get to the Patreon ones because
2 a.m.
phone didn't work.
Where are you living? At 2 a.m.
Yeah, there's some people are
East
like
Coast,
kind of
right?
all over the place. Well, they might be. Well, East
What
Coast.
time is it right now? 5? No.
It's got to be.
It was 5.
7. It's 7 almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys have questions for Marissa, if you want to know about, like, ask her something specific, perfect time because she's here.
Yep. Ireland. Cool.
Ireland. Oh. Ireland. Have you ever been there?
No. You know what? I was down on the East Coast.
That's the same.
That's the thing. So I was down on the East Coast visiting family and like potentially working on a project that didn't happen. But anyways, I would just see family and like we pulled up our old records, like pictures from like my great grandparents. And like turns out we were, where was it? Ireland, England, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and then my dad came to Manitoba and then Edmonton.
So you made your way across
I got Newfie in my family somewhere.
the ocean and then west towards the better part of the country.
Yeah, like the story breaks up and like I don't know if I can ever like I'll probably like at some point in my life try and research it, but there was 3 brothers that came from England or Ireland. I think it was England, but there was some Ireland tie into it. And they moved to Newfoundland and one guy changed his last name. So their last names are Moulton and the one guy changed it to Moland. Like land.
Don't you?
And then they split apart and then yeah.
Daryl Brown says, "Tell us her art history. I came in late." What the heck, Daryl?
You're late.
Lupe says, By the way, this is another artist, Lupe Blind Art Studios. You look super young, but you mentioned flip phones. Do you mind telling us how old you are? You look 15.
Thanks. Yeah, it's in my genes. Does anybody want to guess how old I am?
I'm going to guess you're 26, 27, 25.
I don't see any numbers popping up
24.
on the screen.
There's a little delay. 31.
Any numbers? Any numbers? Anybody want to
32.
guess?
28.
Let's see. What was it around when I was
27.
little? Spice Girls.
Spice Girls. When I went to daycare, everyone loved Spice Girls, and
What else?
I hated it. Do you want to be my lover? Martha's guessing 28. Kathy says 21. Smurf M is asking, do you have a favorite subject to paint?
Okay, I'm 30, people. I just turned 30 last year.
You're a little older than me.
Really?
Just by a little bit, though.
Man.
Do you have a favorite
subject? I was trying to think about this one. Yeah, that's why I brought these three. It's hard to say, like,
She likes painting lesbians, Yoshis, and...
Aurora Borealis or
Do you
Northern
see them from your
Lights.
place where you live?
Yes, I do.
You live in the north?
I live in the
side?
north, so I can see them. Yeah, subject matter, like, I like to paint a lot of things. I never, ever, ever wanted to do commission work because I heard it was terrible from, like, history books back in the 1800s and whatever. And then, 2020 happened, 2019 happened, and I couldn't do any shows. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? So people started requesting that I do paintings for them, obviously paying me for it. And then I actually really liked it. So I do a lot of portraits.
Okay.
I don't only want to do portraits, but they're like, it's a challenge for sure. But I like doing landscape stuff too. Like there's a painting up there of the city, and I actually made one of downtown.
I actually thought that was yours at first.
At first I was like, is that my painting? But
You can
no,
see that
it's so different.
You see how I marked it, not my
No,
art.
my art. I saw it laughed.
Yeah, someone,
Let's see.
Zenobia, some viewers will know Zenobia. She brought it over. She said that I should just paint over it, and I was like,
No.
nah. I don't really. The picture. I mean, it's fine, but it doesn't look at. It doesn't. You would never. It's too crisp. There's no
Too
depth
crisp.
to it. Everything you can see every window and stuff. It would be more. The perspective is wrong.
This is mine.
Okay, we'll show. Okay, show that for just a little while.
So this is on Jasper Ave. Wow, my hand's really shaky. Jasper Ave looking like west-ish. It's a panoramic. I took like a million panoramics. Are you taking a picture?
No.
Okay.
And then that is the other one. Yours is way better. I don't know who painted this, but I don't mean to offend you, but it's not done.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's done fine. Like if you like it, then
Well,
you
I
like
recognize where it is. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
you can see Canada Place right. That's like the other side of the city from where
Yeah,
I took mine.
south
So
side.
mine, like, I worked on Jasper Ave at a restaurant coffee shop, and I walked across the Ave every single day, like morning, nighttime, sunrise, sunset, winter, spring. Like I worked there for a while, and I would just take panoramics because it was so beautiful, like just nature, like the valley. And then I was like, I want to paint this. So I started painting it, and I went to work one day, and one of my call them clients, like the guys that came in to get coffee every day. He's like, hey, what's up? What's up in the artwork? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm painting a lot of things, and I'm painting. He's like, show me. So I showed him, and he's actually a lawyer, and he's like, can I have that? Can I buy it from you? I'm like, well, it's not done. And he's like, how much? I'm like, I don't know. It's not even done. Like, I just started. I wanted to paint this for fun. So I ended up buying it, and it resides
awesome.
on Jasper Ave right now.
That's sick.
I want to do a night scene and a winter scene of the similar
Same
similar area, yeah.
Well, whoever did that one.
Mine's actually very close to that size too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever did this one though, do you notice how, like, the buildings on the left that are really far away, they kind of made them look a little blurry-ish, but the ones that are like in the middle, like there's too crisp for how far away you would
Yeah.
be. It doesn't.
It's almost like it's not finished yet.
Yeah, they need to like put a wash on it or something. I don't know. I don't know how to paint buildings, like architecture.
It's very mathematical.
Yeah, I imagine it would be. Like I have never I don't think I've painted any. I painted like on reclaimed wood and stuff. I painted like
Yeah.
barns and stuff, like stuff that I used to sell in my store. I used to have this I rented a space in a store, and we just made it our own store, which was I thought was
cool.
better than the other stuff. Me and my older brother did it.
Yeah.
Anyways, for quick sellers, you just take a piece of old wood, paint a little farm scene on it.
Oh, people love that stuff.
Yeah, you can sell it for like...
I have a farm in our family, and like I went there one year. I went to go pick up I'm trying to think if I went at the same time. I think I went to go pick up a car, and like as I drove the car back, I like piled in a bunch of old barnwood.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been doing like portraits of like my grandparents that passed away. So
Okay.
right now I'm at 3 grandparents that passed away. And I'm like, every painting I wanted something to like represent them in the border. And like one I did of my grandma, I did it like teeny tiny little beads because she was like very like British, like she drank tea and everything. And so I did hers in like teeny tiny
that why
little
you
beads
drink
and
tea?
pearls.
I should have given
Probably.
you a teacup instead of a coffee cup.
That's all good. I like both. And then the border, I did like a nice fancy gold border. It was like a trim that you put in your house, like those like fancy trims, the crowns.
Oh yeah.
And I used that and painted it gold, and I presented it for like a school project, and everyone's like listening to it. At the end, they're like, "But why did you paint the queen?" I'm like, "It's not the queen, it's my grandmother." Because she has like snow white hair, and I guess
Yeah.
she kind of looks like a queen. Oh, that was really funny.
You want to hear a funny story about the Queen?
Yeah.
My mom gave my niece $20 for her birthday or something, and she is American, like my niece.
This is the one. These beads are really, really tiny.
That looks nothing like the Queen.
No, they're like, oh, white hair, it must be the queen. This is the size of the beads compared to a penny. Which maybe people don't know what a penny is anymore, but maybe the Americans know. Like, it's tiny. Yeah. Anyway.
So you did you bead that or did you glue that?
It's all glued,
Yeah,
bead
okay.
by bead. There's like a bazillion beads on here.
That's cool. I must have missed you saying that it was beads, but that's freaking sick. Anyway, she sends her American niece, or granddaughter,
American
my
money.
niece, Canadian money, $20 bill.
Monopoly money.
And then she asks her mom, was like, why did grandma get her own money? Because she thought that the Queen was her. And she doesn't look like the Queen. I mean, I guess you could say she kind of looks like her, but yeah. I've had a lot of requests to paint the peen.
The peen.
The Queen's peen.
I like that. Yeah, wow. I like this mug.
Someone made that for me.
You can't read it. How would you pronounce that?
Ushitat.
Just Ushitat.
Which is not actually how you say it.
Yeah, so I was
But
wondering if you
that's the
actually say it.
easiest pronunciation. And actually, that's only part of the word. The word is like 13 more letters
So
long.
how do you say the full 13 letter?
Don't, I have no idea.
You should know.
So
That's what
it's
you
like,
are.
it's got like 5 or 6 letters here, and then like another 5 or 6 letters here, or
So
7.
it's basically like a crease slang.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, because I was asking, I was like, okay, so I have to find someone who can still speak Cree, usually an elder
yeah.
or whatever. No one knew how to, because like the word, it's like, the word has to be able to be made into a picture or something. I can't remember exactly how they explained it. So some words don't exist.
Yeah.
It's just,
I know that because I'm Italian.
okay.
Some words don't translate.
Yeah, so I find this group on Facebook of Cree speakers, and
That's cool, actually. Yeah.
And I was like, guys, how do you say maker? There's no maker word. That doesn't make any sense.
well, and then
I was
maker
like-
could be so many things.
Yeah, so they're like creator, someone who creates with their hands.
I'm the god.
Is this? Yeah, like the creator is this.
Yeah.
White man's god is this, and like all these different things, right? And I was like, well, I'm not saying that I'm God. I'm pretty close, but
Just a little bit off.
I was like something that means that you craft. And they're like, oh, crafter is this, and I was like,
But then even crafting
but
is
someone
different.
who is an artist, and they're
Yeah.
like, well, artist is this, and because there's like different kinds of artists. too.
Yeah.
So they're like bead artist, someone
Woven
who does
stuff.
Yeah, so all these different things, and I was like, okay, well,
Show
what
them a
would you
painting.
say-
What am I?
What would you say to someone who makes a lot of things? And then that's what it is. Someone who makes a lot of things. So a maker.
I relate to that. I don't know the Italian word for that.
And they could be lying to me. It could mean like, I used to work for these Lebanese people, and they gave me this nickname, and they're like, every one of their like Lebanese like friends or whatever, they'd be like, hey, this is, I can't remember what the name was. And they'd be like, oh, that's a great name. Wow.
You're like, what does that mean?
And then eventually someone started laughing. They're like, why would you name him Panties? And I was like, what? You've been calling me Panties this whole time? They actually didn't say it like that. They said,
that's funny though.
They actually said,
You're like, that's my name.
they said, they're like, no, they laughed, and then they said, no, that's a good name. And I'm like, that's a good name. Why would you be laughing? He's like, it's a good name, like Calvin Klein or Victoria's Secret. And I was like, is it underwear? And he's like, yeah, it means panties. And then I was like, what? They're like, yeah, why did you guys name him Panties? Anyways.
That's funny.
If I Google Ushitad, Josh comes up. Even if you spell it wrong, nice.
Even if you spell it wrong. How do you spell it wrong?
Well,
like an extra K in there or something?
There's an extra K would be
just
any
like
K.
silent K?
No, just lots of people go USHI instead of IH.
Oh, yeah.
You know what would have been way better?
Ushitad.
If I would have just made an English word.
It seemed like a Japanese word at first, and I was like, what is this? But then Japanese doesn't really use T's.
I have no idea. I mean, it sounds cool when you hear them talking.
But like Ushi sounds Japananize.
No, you say it.
But yeah.
You kind of
Ushi.
pronounce the U.
Uishi.
But it's different. It's kind of hard.
I know. I'm like, when I try and teach people to like pronounce things in Italian or a different language, like I've been very like
You can speak Italian?
explored, kind of. I'm very explorative in my languages. I love other languages and like learning other cultures because like you don't, like there's things that just don't translate. Like in certain, like culture can't translate. I actually did a project on this. It's called Lost in Translation. I did like 2 major projects on it. Where like people think if they only speak one language and they're only from like one place and they're like Heinz 52 or whatever 57 whatever the number is, that's like you're such a mutt that you're so like Canadian.
Sure, yeah.
So yeah, I did a project where people would like send me, I would give them a phrase and they would translate it into the language, but not like a proper translation, like a Google Translate translation. And then I presented it as a project with like all the different translations. It started from an Italian candy called baci, which is like, it means kiss, which is like the little chocolate kisses.
Wait, it's a candy?
Chocolate. It's a chocolate.
What is it called?
Okay, baci.
Like the game?
B-A-C-I.
With the freaking...
It's similar, but it means like a kiss. And so it's like kind of like the English chocolate is a kiss.
That is the least romantic word.
No, because inside, well, it's bacio. Bacio is like...
That's even worse.
Baci is like plural.
Bacio?
So you have this chocolate, you open it up, and inside there's this little like
a grandma
plastic
would say
thing,
that.
and it has like a romantic phrase in all of them, and they're all translated to different languages. So I took it even further, and I added, because there's like the Romance languages and English. I translated to like Korean and like I don't know, Chinese and like Arabic. I even wrote them all out by hand.
Okay.
And presented it, and this one Chinese guy in my class just started laughing, and I was like, "What?" He's like, "It doesn't even make sense." I'm like, that's the point, that you can't translate word for word from culture and language to language, just like you can't translate culture from language to language, or like culture to culture.
Sure, yep.
You know, like the big thing was like the word love does not translate, like verbally it translates, but culture doesn't. Like someone who says I love you in Italian, like really, really loves you, like there's like multiple words for like friend love and like romantic love and like family love, whereas like in North America,
do you know?
Oh, it's like different. Like amore is like the base word, and then you take off the end of the word to like change it to like I love you as a friend or I love you as a family member, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like in North America, like people say I love you like to their friend, and it's the same word. It almost has the same meaning. I don't know.
But you would know that.
But like in Italian, you'd know how they're speaking.
You're not like, oh wait. We're just friends.
Yeah, like, okay, like I know Spanish a little bit too. Like, amante is like a similar, like, amore, amante, whatever. Amante is like my lover.
Okay.
But like, ti amo in Italian is like, I love you. That's more like general, like a general, like, I love you type of thing.
Like, you would say that to your friend?
Yeah.
Or would you say that to your family?
Could, yeah. So this is the thing, like, I'm Italian, but I was raised on slang.
Okay.
but I went to school and learned proper Italian. There's different like types of Italian.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know how to explain that.
It's
part.
like
it's like even within my own family, like the cultural shift. Like I'm first born in Canada, but my mom came here when she was young, and then my nonna and nono came here when they were like 25 or something.
Okay.
30 maybe. So like the culture got kind of shifted or lost.
Sure.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say amore, I just think of pizza because of the song.
It's amore. Yeah, I love that song.
Wendy says we still use pennies. Oh yeah, Americans still use pennies.
I know. I went to the States one time,
Oh,
and I was like, "Why are they using pennies? Oh yeah, they still have pennies. Why?"
and Lynette says we are all American. I don't know if she's being facetious or not, but
Are we?
as a
I don't know.
Canadian person,
When I go to-
we don't really say that we're American.
No, you
And
don't.
when we're talking about Americans, we're talking about U.S. Not North America. No one
Yeah.
says.
We're North American. You know what? When you go to Europe, it's really funny. They're like, Americana. And you're like, no. Like, North America, South America, and all Central is not the same. Like Colombia and Canada are very different.
Right,
We're
yeah.
not Americanas. But they say that because it's the continent. Two continents
Two continents, North and South America, yeah.
and Central.
And
Yeah.
Central, yeah. But yeah, they.
So you have to explain that you're Canadian. Then they're like, oh, we're different.
But like you can say like you're European, and that's a lot of different.
Yeah, there's
folks
that
there.
too. You go to Mexico and you say they're like, oh, are you American? They're like, no, I'm Canadian. Then they get really excited because Canadians are very different in Mexico than Americans. They know the difference.
What did this is a lame joke from Glenn. What did the
Italian joke?
Italian painter who loved spice buy?
Italian painter who loved spice. I don't know.
He bought a chili. That's
I was like, what? He bought the chili. Yeah, Italian. Yeah, so, okay.
I got in trouble for
can't-
calling myself American, says Lynette. So she is being facetious, or I don't know. Why would you get in trouble for that?
Who got you in trouble?
Instead of saying that you were,
Canadian? Or wherever you're from?
are you American? Like, are you? What do Americans call themselves?
Americans.
I feel like I hear they always say that I'm American.
Oh, American.
Like, here's a story that I'm not saying all Americans are like this because they're definitely not.
No, there's a lot of them. A lot of
But
different ones.
they're recently at an airport. There was a line up. You know how
American airports.
you have to do the whatever customs things or whatever on the plane, and you hand it in.
Yeah.
Well, these people didn't do it, which you don't have to. You can do it once you're off, but it's way easier if you do it
Yeah,
on
do it on the plane, then you go.
And anyway, there was a lineup for people who were American citizens, and then a lineup for everyone else. And the lineup for American citizens was here, and the lineup for everyone else, foreigners or whatever, was over here. And he literally said, "We're American. We don't have to put up with this shit." And they went to the front of the line of all Americans who didn't realize that there was two different lines.
Americans are funny. I'll
Well,
tell you that. That's like the other thing about traveling is funny, like other cultures.
They say U.S. citizens. Many call
Oh,
ourselves-
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Imagine if we said we're Canadian citizens.
That'd be so weird.
Weird.
We're just Canadian.
Canadian, eh?
Just Canadian. But a lot of people, I don't know. I think
But even with Canada, like there's so many different people. Like a Newfie and a BC person,
way different.
totally different.
I used to work with this newfie. His name was Scott.
Typical.
And I could, is that a typical?
I don't know.
And man, he the first time I heard someone call McDonald's Rotten Ronnie's was from him.
I've never
he-
heard that.
And he's like, thick accent.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
can't even
asking
imitate
me to get him fries if I didn't mind getting him fries from Rotten Ronnie's. And I was like, first of all, what the
Who
hell?
the heck is Rotten
You
Ronnie's?
sound like you're trying to not spit out rocks right now. What did you say? And what is Rotten Ronnie's? Anyways, McDonald's.
McD's. That's what some people call it.
Oh, they were being sarcastic. Oh, that definitely did not come through even a little bit. I'm sorry. I was told I was insulting Canada and South American. Really? I wonder what Canadian would be insulted if you called yourself American. That doesn't make any sense.
All the Canadians would be insulted if you claimed yourself as American if you're a Canadian. They'd be like, no, 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 you're Canadian. Don't associate.
I don't know. We call ourselves Merkins, says nom
Americans,
nom
there you
yum.
go. Americans. I have some family down there. I have family everywhere.
My sister lived there. My brother Ken lives there. My nephew lives there. Well, several nephews actually. But anyway, let me go back to the questions here.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there is none. Are we done here? I think.
You are American. Not a Canadian.
Oh, I don't think there is any. How many artists does it take to change a light bulb? This is
None. We're too busy painting. I mean,
Glenn says 10. 1 to change it and 9 to reassure him about how good it looks. Oh, and someone wants to know what your Facebook is, but
yeah, I don't really use that. I use
Instagram.
Instagram is like my number one.
And there's a link in the description to her
Yeah.
Instagram. So if there's no more questions, I guess we'll close with, hey guys, check out our Instagram. Check out our website. Check out our YouTube channel. There's, I don't know, 3 videos on there that I saw. So
Working on it. The thing is,
watch them all.
my computer's very old, and I'm in the process
I
of
saw
like,
your stories.
Yeah, I'm in the process of like getting a new computer. I'm using someone else's right now.
Okay.
But I can't make YouTube videos on my computer because it's from 2012. So it just like crashes
Okay.
constantly.
Just use your phone. What kind of phone do you have?
S10. Samsung.
Okay, that's the phone that I have.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I
That's-
need to know more about YouTube stuff.
Just download KindMaster. It used to cost $40, but now it's like $140. But there's also, excuse me, a free version. I like do all my videos.
Free 99 is my favorite.
Free 99, yeah. I do everything on my phone, like all the filming, and then
Then you
all
post it
the
directly
editing,
from here.
and then and then I back it up on a hard drive too,
Yeah, okay.
for no reason because like I don't need.
So then,
it,
how
but,
big are your files for your videos if they're like an hour and a half?
Like 15 gigs or something. But you have S10, so it's big. That's lots of space.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how big mine was. I don't know.
Right, so like it's such an easy program. It like has literally everything that you need. You can't do effects really. You can do some effects that are like cheesy if
I'll
you
try
wanted
it
to.
What's it called?
But KindMaster, Kine Master. It's like a, I don't know, an Indian company or something. I don't know, but it's great. It's like I used Adobe something, the one that like the app, trash.
I use iMovie.
I used to use iMovie, but my
I only
computer.
know how to use that.
I used to use iMovie, but my Mac is too old.
Oh.
So it doesn't actually use it. It doesn't use it anymore. Like it doesn't work. It's from like 2010 or something.
Just a little. Yeah, I got mine like when I first started university, and then I never got another one since then. It's OG. It's not a portable laptop anymore. It has to be plugged in at all times.
Oh, okay.
So it's basically like a desktop, and it has an external fan that's attached to it, so it keeps it cool because it like overheats. It's
You need a new computer.
Oh, man, I know.
Someone
they're
should buy one of these pictures so you can
or
get
buy me a
it.
computer and send it to me.
Or that.
They're so expensive these days.
Jamie is saying if you want to edit on PC, DaVinci
No.
Resolve is free, but you have a Mac.
I'm a Mac user.
But you don't have an Apple phone.
That's a funny story. Yeah.
That's a good story
I
because
don't.
Apple sucks.
Apple was great until Steve Jobs decided to go off this planet elsewhere.
Yeah, what the heck's his problem? Is he
Yeah,
getting
I don't know
cancer?
why he left. Like, he was doing a great job.
Oh, here's the number one most important question.
What is it?
Do you like banana bread?
Oh, I heard that was in your video. Someone made you banana bread.
Which video did you watch?
One that you sent me. Oh, what's her name?
Oh, it's Stephanie.
Yes. You're like, some lady made me banana bread.
Do you like banana bread?
Banana bread's a good question. I'll eat it. I eat a lot of things. Why?
The answer is yes.
Sure.
You don't like it?
I don't hate it.
What the?
I love zucchini bread. I make my own zucchini bread. I make a lot of things.
Oh my god. Okay. That's just terrible news. Zucchini bread is okay. It's definitely not better than
My
banana
zucchini
bread.
bread is fantastic.
Okay. Well, our garden always has way too many zucchini.
Same.
So,
Mine are this big.
yeah, same.
They're
So,
bigger than my cat.
you should make me one and I will see if it's good in the summer or in the fall or whenever
I was
they're
like,
good.
By Art Walk, I don't know if I have zucchinis by Art Walk.
Okay, well that was
So
not
why?
the most, that was not the most important question. Frick, how do you not like banana
Rude.
bread?
I don't care.
Nuts or no nuts in your banana bread?
Sure.
Guys, this girl doesn't like banana bread.
I don't know.
And
like,
if
the
she
thing
does
is, I'm
eat
not
it,
a
she
big
likes
fan
it
of-
with nuts.
I'm not a big fan of like banana things. But I will eat them.
Oh my god.
I don't dislike it. I just,
This girl.
I don't know.
Okay.
If someone makes a banana bread, I will eat it. If someone puts nuts in it or no nuts, I'll still eat it.
Chocolate chips. Or
Someone puts
nothing.
chocolate chips and banana, I'll probably still eat it.
I can't
It's more
believe
about the
this.
dryness than anything. If it's dry, I don't want it. If it's a moist banana bread, I'll eat it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, for a second I thought you were saying it has to be dry.
It has to be so dry that I chug a glass of water.
Water, milk.
I was gonna say milk and water came out first.
Oh my god. Okay, so definitely you need to try more banana bread because I don't know if you've just been getting gas station banana bread.
No.
Oh my
I
god.
don't have a lot of local bananas.
Do you eat banana splits? Says Ask Guitar Missy.
We make this thing that my parents' friends created. It's like it's called a banana boat. You take a banana, you cut it open,
That's a
and then
banana
you
split.
fill it with Nutella, peanut butter, nuts, whatever, and then you wrap it up, put it on the fire,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and then you eat with a spoon in the dark and you don't know what the hell you're eating. But it's pretty good.
Okay. Well,
I don't like die for it. I'm like, yeah, it's nice. It's great.
we're gonna have hot dogs here.
Hot dogs I like.
Do you want to?
I don't care that they're made
For
with
hot
weird
dogs?
things, but I love hot dogs. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm down.
Can't believe you don't like banana bread, guys.
I didn't say I don't like it. I
Guys,
just
she's obviously not perfect, but if you want to follow her on her art journey and everything else that she's doing, there's the links are in the description. Do you sell this?
know what I should. Go there.
If a
Find
lo-
my art here.
if
I'm looking for people that do hoodies. I found like a couple people, but
I just use Teespring, like this was made on Teespring. It's kind of old now, so it's pilling badly. How old is that?
this is actually not that old. Maybe a year or two.
This is not even.
This
a
is
year.
from Vistaprint, and it's like stupid expensive.
I don't know how much
But
this
it's
costs.
cozy.
Like I always get the sample, which is less, and then yeah, I don't know how much they cost, but
Yeah, I'd like to do like selling, but I heard that like clothing sales are very difficult.
I think it's I think it's a bad idea to put your art on clothes unless you're mad famous.
Oops. No, I just do it for myself.
Because
They're like, you're an artist. I'm like, yeah, this is what I make.
I think it devalues your art because like say you're selling this for
Yeah.
for whatever amount, and then they can just buy a $40 hoodie.
And that's the thing, like, I've come across that so many times. I never wanted to do printing. So, like, when I do, like, paper prints, they're always limited, and I've never said that out loud, but, like, they're limited edition. I don't make any more.
Yeah,
So when I have a print, that's it.
that's good.
I sign them all, too. But, like, putting it on products, like, I have, like, phone cases. I have, like, my own phone case, always. But it has, like, my website on the top.
Let's see it.
It's not, this one's not the best, but,
Is that this?
yeah.
Okay.
It's a mini version, but look at the color. It's terrible.
Yeah, like washed out a bit.
Yeah. So I want to, like, I like these phone cases are really good, but the
Okay.
printing's not the best. But anyways, yeah, I explored like stickers and like multiple surfaces where my art is on, because if the original isn't selling, then at least I still have a revenue coming in.
Oh, definitely do prints.
Yeah, print
Because-
stickers buttons and
Oh, and stickers
things
are
and-
fine too. Some
People
people
love
will say
stickers.
that stickers devalue your art, but it's totally different. They're
But it's
they're temporary.
The thing too is like even like postcards, like I know as an artist I can't buy everyone's work, but I still want to support the artist. So like
Yeah.
I will buy like smaller versions of their stuff, and like my studio looks like yours. There's like stuff all over the walls.
Yeah.
But I need a bigger space because I have so many like prints or like postcards or like stickers from other artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mugs. I want to do mugs. too.
Smurf M says, "Hey Josh, are you the Zip It in Confections Banana Bread this month?" I am. Isn't that hilarious? So, do you have Facebook?
Not for-
Like a personal Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Personal.
I always make these stupid banana bread posts at a certain time of year, and lots of people get frustrated and they block me or whatever, which is fine. I don't care. But
It's just banana bread, guys.
I do it
Relax.
for like almost a whole month. Like every day,
every day banana bread post.
I'll make a banana bread post, and some of them are so stupid. Like,
Are you making the banana bread and then posting it, or are you just making it?
no. Let me
gotta
give
see
you an
this.
example. Hold on. Where's her Facebook? 7:30. We should probably jump off here in a quick second here, but okay. So
While he's looking at that, by the way, this is accurate to the sky, the stars. In case you guys are wondering,
wait, those are the constellations.
this is the actual painting is the constellations. Now you can look at it sideways. Can you see it?
That's cool. That's a good
I
idea.
don't know if you can see the dipper on this one. One of them has the dipper, obviously. Is the dipper on here?
Okay,
I don't
so
know. It's on one of them. Oh, there's a little dipper right there. Little dipper.
that's so
really
cool.
hard
That's
to
a good
see.
idea. I didn't even.
Oh my god, that took so damn long.
That's a good idea. Okay, so here's an example. So, sitting in the waiting room. This was the last post I made, January 12th. Sitting in the waiting room, waiting for my neurology appointment, and no one here has banana bread. And then the day before, if someone hates you, hand them banana bread. As they go to take it, pull it away and eat it in front of them. People who hate you don't deserve banana
Does this
bread,
remind me of this?
and it will probably make them hate you more. However, them hating you more will be so satisfying, though not as satisfying as the banana bread you're eating.
This kind of reminds me of that FML website. It was like people tell their stories and be like, F my life.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a great website.
Bakeries should be legally obligated to provide banana bread. There are
Yeah,
two
just-
types of people in this world. Those
that
who
like
like banana
banana
bread and those whose taste buds betray them. Like you. How do you... Oh, this one's good. Amazing Grace. You know, like the song?
Yeah.
Amazing Grace, how sweet the banana bread. Okay, guys. Her information is in the description. Check her out. Go give her a follow. And then also, if you are interested in a piece of hers, like this one is my favorite of all the ones that you brought.
Yeah, that's the only one out of these three that's actually for sale still.
Do you
The
have
other
prints
ones
of
are
it
cleaned.
too?
I do. I do prints of the whole thing, and then I have like each Yoshi.
Oh, that's a good idea. How much is this?
$450, I think.
$450 Canadian. That's like $25 American.
Pretty much.
Or
Plus a penny.
U.S. citizen.
Yeah, plus a penny.
$25 U.S. citizen dollars or 450 Canadian dollars. And if you're American, you don't have to pay, or if you're a U.S. citizen, you don't have to pay tax. You only have to pay GST or whatever if you're in Canada. So that's even cheaper. So you should buy it. You don't have to charge GST to anyone who doesn't live in Canada. I didn't even know that.
What?
Yeah, you don't have to. Because you don't have to pay, they pay their own tax. But sometimes they'll have to pay like
But
some sort of duty fee or something when you ship
like,
it to
how
them.
does that even? Oh, okay, yeah.
Don't do it.
I've sold paintings to people in different countries.
Yeah. Well,
One country.
there you go, guys. Like I said in the description, hope you guys enjoyed meeting her
Yeah.
and getting to know about her. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Thanks for the tea.
perhaps you'll come again.
It's now iced
And
tea.
yeah, we're gonna go have some hot dogs and play darts. Well, you don't have to stay if you don't want to, but that's what I'm gonna do. So, see you later. I wish there was an easier way to do this part.